Hello, wonderhussie here, driving back from Vegas again. Look at that, I've already put 2,300 miles on this new to me Toyota 4Runner. Remember when I got it, it had just over 10,000. I put 2,300 miles on it, basically just driving back and forth to Vegas. I mean, think about it. The whole time I was in Australia, 3 weeks, the car just sat in the driveway. All these miles are literally just me driving back and forth to Vegas, which I've been doing a lot of lately because, well, if you watched my last vlog, I got my work cut out for me, man. These tenants that were renting my house in Vegas left it a pretty big mess, and now I gotta try to figure out what to do with it. Well, the good news is I did find a guy to fix the damage that was done by the renters, and I gotta decide if I want to try to sell it or do I want to move back into it. I still really haven't made my mind up about anything, but I will say that I feel like I've got a lot better handle on things than I did in my last vlog where I was boo-hooing about all my first world problems, and boy, I apologize for that. I almost edited that part out because, well, A, it's embarrassing to cry publicly, and B, I don't know, it just seemed kind of self-indulgent. But I left it in because I really try to be authentic, which I know is ironic for an influencer, but I don't want to be one of them kind of influencers. I want to be me. I want to be honest. And so part of me was that I had a little mini breakdown, meltdown, and, well, if you watch the video, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I feel a lot better now. I mean, I'm still facing a lot of challenges, but I feel like I have a better handle on things. I'm not as overwhelmed. And so thank you to everybody who sent me, comments, messages. I got the nicest emails from people. I mean, it was really, really overwhelming. So thank you to everyone for your kindness. Anyway, I still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do. But for now, I'm headed back to the never, never. That's what they call the Australian outback, the never, never. And even though I'm not in Australia anymore, well, I feel like that's a pretty good description for where I live, too. I mean, seriously, have you ever seen a landscape more befitting of the name Never Never? I mean, this is equal parts Never Never Land and equal parts life is never, never very easy here. Woo, it's real windy out here today. Hopefully the audio is coming out okay. Anyway, going from a city like Las Vegas, Sin City, one of the craziest cities in the entire world, back out to the Never Never is always a pretty surreal experience. And I think I talked about that in a video once. I mean, Vegas is over there. So first you have to come out of the city and leave the last outskirts of the city. And then you go over a mountain pass out of the Vegas Valley into the Pahrump Valley. And then you turn off here onto the old Spanish Trail Highway. And with each turn you make, the farther you get from Las Vegas, the quieter it gets. And the more surreal it gets, although I guess Vegas is pretty surreal in itself. But then, this, where I am right now, is kind of what I consider like the final boss before leaving civilization and entering the Amargosa chaos. Okay, this is the second mountain pass you have to go over to get to where I live, and it's called Immigrant Pass, and as you can see from the sign here, it's pretty squirrely. So twisty and turny, they had to put a warning sign up, and, well, if you've ever driven out here, certainly the first time you drive out here, you're like, holy cow, I mean, there's a hairpin turn right there that's 15 miles per hour, and I don't know how these Dumont Duners do it. These people drag their toy haulers full of side-by-sides and whatnot out to the Dumont Dunes. On this highway, I don't know how they make this hairpin turn, which is so narrow. I kind of feel like it's like the duodenum. I'm not quite sure the correct pronunciation of that term for that little part of your intestines between your stomach and your digestive tract, where all that good nutritious food gets processed into, well, you know what. And I'll leave it to you to decide which side is which. All I'll say is that all these curves seem to have the effect of scrambling people's brains by the time they drop down on the other side. Mine included. Okay, better stop postponing the inevitable and cross the threshold into the never, never. Okay, we made it over the pass and into the never, never. And now there's only one thing to do. Ha ha! Do you like my fabulous new outfit? Carlo bought me this dress in Vegas the other day at Trading Labels, that boutique that our friend Natasha owns. So I could wear it and look fabulous at our art gala event this coming Saturday in Vegas at Off the Wall Framing Shop. Okay, if you watched my vlog last week, me and Carlo went into town. He knows these people who run a really cool little framing shop, and so we decided to have a party Saturday afternoon from 1 to 5 p.m. at Off the Wall Framing on Russell Road in Las Vegas. And so if you're anywhere in the area and you have art you want to have framed or you just want to come by and hang out and say hi, well, come on down. Anyway, Carlo bought me this fabulous dress, which, if I do say so myself, is pretty flattering, right? I mean, I know the lighting isn't the best out here right now, but oh my God, cut me some slack. I couldn't shoot this any earlier because I was in Vegas all day dealing with my house. And also it was about 759 degrees until about 30 minutes ago. And now it's finally bearable to swan about on the old Spanish Trail Highway in an evening gown and a sooty Marilyn Monroe wig with a glass of rosé Prosecco. Cheers to the never, never and all of its disgruntled inhabitants. Have you ever seen that meme where it's a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio? I think it's a still from The Wolf of Wall Street or some movie. He's holding up a glass of champagne and it says, "Cheers to my haters. Be patient. So much more is coming." Well, that's the attitude I decided to adopt toward my haters. Cheers. Be patient. So much more is coming. You know, I realized, and I knew this before, but I was reminded of the fact that you can't please everyone, and you'd be a fool to try. No matter how good of a person you are, you could be Mother Teresa, and I know there's people who talk smack about Mother Teresa. You could be Jesus Christ, you could be Buddha, and people would still have something negative to say about you. So there's really no point in taking any of this stuff personally and letting it get in the way of my living a fabulous life. And if I want to wear an evening gown and a sooty Marilyn Monroe wig, unfortunately I wore this wig on New Year's Eve at a campfire, and it, I think, permanently kind of made it, well, kind of like an ash blonde. Isn't that a color? Ash blonde? From literal ashes. I don't know. Maybe I ruined it, but it's the only Marilyn Monroe wig I have to wear to this party, and so I'm gonna wear it with this fabulous gown. I mean, if you live in Vegas, ladies, if you live in Vegas and you haven't been to Trading Labels, it's amazing. It's a consignment shop where all these rich women from Summerlin bring their old designer dresses in. Not just dresses, handbags, swimsuits, all kinds of stuff. And Natasha sells it all at a very steep discount. In fact, I was just in the other day buying this dress, and there was like this Hermes handbag that was supposed to be like $10,000. Who has $10,000 to spend on a handbag? Anyway, Natasha was selling it for a fraction of that price. So if, like me, you want to be fabulous, but you're on a budget, well, check it out. Uh-oh, sun's going down fast. Better wrap this up. Anyway, the point of this video is just to say that I'm back and more fabulous than ever. And no amount of petty, small-minded haters can ever take that away from me. Okay, part of my improvement in mood is due to the passage of time. Okay, you know how that is. You come back from this wonderful vacation down in literal Never Never Land where you don't have to worry about bills. You don't even have to worry about driving. Somebody else is doing everything for you, making all the decisions. It was magical. And the fact that it was in another hemisphere and the water flowed the opposite direction, man, I didn't even think about real life when I was down in Australia. And then when I came back, well, unfortunately, real life was waiting for me with a vengeance. Anyway, now that a week has gone by, I feel a little less discombobulated about things. But I've also started making progress, and that always helps improve your mood. I found this awesome guy in Vegas to do the repairs on my house there, and he's an amazing guy. He did my neighbor's house, and I went in. My neighbor let me come in and look at his work, and he does amazing work. So I can't wait to show you all of that. So I'm making progress on the Vegas house front. If you watched my second Australia video, well, you may have seen that the CIA is being very difficult about my phone, okay? In that video, I called them, I think I called Pine Gap 3 or maybe even 4 times. And when I went to edit that footage, I was struck because I'd forgotten. Like, the first time I called him, he really sounded very casual about him. You can hear his voice in the video. He's laughing like, oh, yes, we're having a meeting about it right now. We'll call you back later this afternoon. Later this afternoon? Here it is a full month later, and I still haven't heard from them. I did call them myself the other day when it was the 1 month mark, the 1 month anniversary of not having my phone. I called him back, and he still had no answer for me. It's like, well, if you guys had that meeting a month ago, what the hell is going on? Anyway, I decided there's no point in banging my head against the metaphorical wall of the Pine Gap Joint Defense Force. Remember, it's a joint defense force between the Australian federal government and the CIA and the NSA. So no telling where my phone is or what's being done to it. Although when I called the other day, I go, hey, this wouldn't have anything to do with the fact that there's a bunch of nude photos on that phone, would it? And it was the same bloke as before, and he chuckled, ha, ha, ha. I mean, he was a very, very handsome bloke. And hey, bloke, if anybody from the CIA happens to be watching this video, or the NSA, or anybody from Pine Gap in particular, if any federal policemen from Pine Gap happen to be watching this video, cheers to you. And I don't mean that ironically. You got a tough job standing out there in that heat with all them flies swarming around you and all these ninny YouTubers coming up and making a ruckus. I appreciate you boys, and you are very handsome and very pleasant and very well spoken. So if there's anything you can do, to put in a word in my favor with the brass, please do so, because boy, howdy would I really like my phone back. Like, I had to pay this contractor in Vegas to do the stuff for my house, and he wanted me to Zelle him. Zelle, the electronic transfer that you do from a bank account. Well, I couldn't Zelle him because I don't have my friggin' phone number. You have to confirm your identity by getting an authentication code. My hands were tied. It was very frustrating. I had to go to the bank and take out a bunch of cash and stuff it in an envelope in my bra. I felt like Pablo Escobar. It was wild. I mean, speaking of Pablo Escobar, it looks like him and some of his buddies were here shooting this sign up. Why do people do this? Why do people shoot road signs full of bullet holes like that? Like, okay, I get it. It's kind of an interesting sign, but really? I guess that's just human nature. Might as well finish this little mini of the finest La Marca Rosé Prosecco that I could find at Albertsons on Blue Diamond Road in Vegas on my way out of town. That's the nice thing about YouTubing is I can buy a split of champagne and then write it off because it's for a video. Cheers. Oh, now the sun's really going down. I better chug this Prosecco and get home. Only problem is, now that the sun went down, it's actually very pleasant out here. So why wouldn't I want to hang out and drink a couple glasses of champagne? And yes, I know it's not really champagne, but don't ruin my fantasy. Listen, if you've never drunk a glass of champagne at the side of the old Spanish Trail Highway while wearing a tiara, a sooty Marilyn Monroe wig, and a fabulous evening gown, well, sir or madam, You simply haven't lived. So let me have my fun. Lord knows there hasn't been that much of it lately. Okay, actually, there has been, well, sort of a development on the phone front. Okay, the CIA won't give me any love, but Bill, my good old travel buddy Bill, whom you now kind of know from my videos, and there's more of Bill to come, lots more. Oh gosh, a car. Oh dear, who could it be? Oh my God, it's Carlo.
Oh my God, is that wonderhussie?
Are you okay?
Do I look okay?
Yes, I love this
Carlo,
dress.
I can't thank you enough for this dress. It looks fantastic. I've been filming in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, it's okay. He's just, he's dressed down because he was in town running some errands. In fact, he helped me out. He came over to the house and advised me on stuff. So anyway, thank you, Carlo. Mwah. If I had an extra glass, I'd share.
Oh, I love it.
He quit drinking anyway.
I'm not drinking.
There he goes with a fully loaded minivan stuffed with all kinds of crazy treasures. I guess every time he comes back from Vegas, he brings way too much crap with him, or at least that's what Jack tells me. Anyway, I really am running out of daylight. So what was I talking about before Carlo showed up? Oh, my phone. Bill, my travel buddy Bill. He is so kind and so generous. I've been using that phone, his extra phone or his US phone. He told me to go ahead and just transfer my phone number over to it and just use it. And then I can mail the SIM card to his stepdaughter in New Mexico. And then that way when he flies back, he's coming back in July, he can just pop that SIM card into the phone he was using in Australia and continue to use that phone. I mean, Bill, if you happen to be watching this video, what did I ever do to deserve a friend like you? Now, I'm still hoping the CIA and or NSA and whoever has my phone will eventually give it back to me. I mean, guys, come on. I'm not a spy. I'm just an American girl doing the best I can. Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. Oh yeah, life goes on. And if you try hard enough, the thrill of living is never gone. Oh, okay, I'm no John Cougar Mellencamp, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I really am running out of daylight, and this footage is probably real grainy, but man, that's the reality of being out here in the desert at this time of year. You can only crawl out of the house for a very brief period in the early morning and at sunset, and Lord knows I am never in any shape to be filming video in the early morning, let alone looking like this. If you want to see me looking like this, well, come on down to Off the Wall Framing tomorrow. I guess by the time I post this video, it'll be tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 5. Come say hi, buy some art. Apparently one of those pictures already sold. A guy from Arkansas called the frame shop and bought the one of me in my biker outfit. So thank you, kind sir, whoever that was. But there's still going to be some more stuff. And I mean, even if you just come by to say hi, it's going to be a fun party. And it'll be air conditioned. So, what else are you going to do on a hot summer's day in Las Vegas? There's nothing else to do in Las Vegas other than go to a party at a frame store. Right? Meanwhile, back in the Never Never, the winds may blow. The coyotes may howl, and the haters may hate. But I'm not gonna let it get in my way of living my best life. Cheers.